Welcome back to the Smarktank Revolution, where we always kick out at 2. I am your host, the benevolent, intelligent, extravagant, and eloquent Mr. Donnie Wonderful. Now, usually I'm partnered with my impeccable, incorrigible co-host, the vexatious verbal villain, the genius of geniuses, Mr. Joey Business. But today, Joey Business had to take care of some business, so I'm flying solo with this one. We're talking about AEW's Full Gear 2021 that occurred in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the Target Center. I had a day to really sleep on this one and really gather some of my thoughts and criticisms together. More praises than criticisms. The only criticism I actually have about the whole entire event was the pre-show. I'm not a big fan of pre-shows at all, and not that the pre-show matches were bad, but I just think that any wrestling should come with the whole presentation. I don't like the stigma of pre-shows. Oh, this is just free. We're throwing this out there for you. If they're good enough to be on the pre-show, they should be able to make the pay-per-view event and be all-inclusive with the praise and or criticism that the event gets. But that's neither here nor there, and I don't want to go on a tangent with that. It's AEW Full Gear was full of praises, in my opinion. And watching Rampage, Excalibur mentioned a website where you can look to see where your local bars and or movie theaters were playing this. And I'm in the New England area. I did just that. I'll have to go back and see, because I DVR'd it. I'll have to go back and see what that website was. But thank God that he dropped that link for us, or that plug, as they say, for us, because I was able to view this at the AMC theaters here, and AMC's everywhere, but I was able to catch AEW Full Gear rather at my local movie theater amongst fans, and really got the great vibe, the atmosphere, the synergy, all of that. You can sum all that up in one. It was great to be amongst wrestling fans, in a reclining chair at that, but it was great to be amongst wrestling fans, and we were respectfully boisterous in that movie theater. So, shout out to AEW for doing that. And if anybody that's listening, I strongly encourage that if you can get to a bar and watch wrestling amongst wrestling fans, do that. If you can get to a movie theater, it's a different movie going experience. It's not really a movie. You're watching a sports event. I've never done that for any type of wrestling or boxing. Some of our followers and supporters know that I'm also heavy into boxing via FightView360.com. Shameless plug. But yes, this was the way to go. And the cost here in the New England area was $25. $25 well spent. You have your concession stands, and you can get, the same process as if you were watching a movie or you were going to check out a movie, only you're there for 4, or in this case, about 5.5 hours, including the pre-show. So yeah, AEW Full Gear. And what I can tell you, this card was stacked. And AEW's really doing a great job with how they sequence their pay-per-views. One thing I want to say, because it was a thought that I had while I was driving home. I watched this. I'm gonna let the cat out the bag now. I thought this event was great. I thought it was great from top to bottom. I don't think there were any bad matches, but as you listen, or if you're new, like, we have a rating system, and I'm gonna do my best to try to stay to that 1 count, 2 count, 3 count. But yeah, this card from top to bottom was stacked, and I say that in retrospect now is because it was executed very, very, very well. And we're gonna go down the matches, and I'm gonna share some thoughts on them. But one thing that I was thinking, I was saying, man, this made me more curious for what WWE does for Survivor Series. I've managed to catch just about every pay-per-view WWE has to offer, except for night 1 of WrestleMania. I know I still have to watch that. But with the exception of night one in WrestleMania, I yet to get a feel of great wrestling or great storytelling from top to bottom. You have your people that can do it well. I mean, Edge is great. Randy Orton is great. I mean, Bianca Belair, like WWE has well-trained wrestlers, but it really is presented more like a reality show. How can we have all these interactions in the back and nobody not acknowledge that there's a camera there? This isn't reality television, like, like this is, I hate to even use the phrase sports entertainment. This is professional wrestling. We can do interviews, yeah, but there's well-produced segments, and I'll give WWE their credit. It's well-produced segments, but it's just now I feel like it doesn't fit with or what I can say is I'm kind of desensitized to it. The Attitude Era was great for it, but let's get back to like professional wrestling. And really, if you look at it, or if you've been watching Dynamite and Rampage, I can't really think of any of those highly produced segments that occur on Dynamite or Rampage. If you all know of some, please leave some in the comments. But let's get straight to the card, or let's get down to the card. There was a pre-show. I said I'm not even gonna mention it, but following the pre-show, the pay-per-view kicked off with MJF and Darby Allin, and boy was this match rewatchable, top to bottom. I'm gonna lead off with saying this is a full 3 count, and in my opinion, the best match on the card that opened the show. That was the best. We got the best presentation of wrestling. And it's hard to even anoint them that, seeing what followed them and the workers that did follow them. But Darby Allin, I was already a fan of his, but after this, I'm buying a t-shirt. I really, really utterly enjoyed watching MJF and Darby Allin wrestle. MJF wind up getting the decision using the Dynamite Diamond Ring, but I think they wrestled. They have it listed here with the entrances. It's about 22 minutes, closer to a half an hour. If you get a chance, YouTube it, however you got to see it. MJF versus Darby Allin was great. Told a great story. They wrestled. MJF came out first and said that he can beat Darby Allin with a crossover takeover, hip toss takeover. I absolutely loved the wrestling that they did. We got to see some gymnastics. It was great, but everything meant something. Everything was intentional. MJF went to work on Darby's back to soften the effect of the coffin drop. MJF sold a right knee injury, and that he kept milking. There was the only botch was it was the left knee, and then Darby attacked the right knee. That was clearly visible, but that aside, the match was flawless. I have no complaints. I have no complaints with the outcome of it. 15 minutes into it, I said, damn, somebody's gonna have to lose. It was really thought of well, put together well. I have no idea who's the agent of that match or who's AEW's Pat Patterson, but they did a really good job with MJF and Darby Allin. Even with the interference, with the attempted interference with Shawn Spears and Wardlow, with Sting intercepting them at the entranceway, it was great. The only thing that I would, if I had to pick away at it, I guess, or try to find some type of criticism, I'd say, damn it, Sting. I mean, you foiled an interference attempt. Just stay out there. You got the bat. You're going to work. Stay out there, because if they sent Wardlow and Shawn Spears, that's not the last thing that a heel is going to try to do to win the match. And lo and behold, that Dynamite Diamond Ring punch put Darby Allin to sleep. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that match was a 3 count for sure.